Hey loves, your specific person is about to reach out to you. And so in this video, I'm going to give you 7 signs to know what's happening so you can be prepared. So the first one, and it makes a lot of sense for this one, that you feel a sudden or strong urge to check your phone. And this obviously makes sense because in the law of assumption, we're supposed to be assuming as if we already have what we want. So if you're getting into a state of communication, then obviously you are going to expect it. Because as you begin to transition your state, you are going to understand that you never expect anything that doesn't come from the state that you're already in. So for example, this morning, how did you wake up? Did you expect a duck to be quacking in your room? And you would say, well, absolutely not. And you would say, well, why not? And it's because we're not in the state of receiving that. So in this way, if we are getting into the sense of knowing that our specific person is going to reach out, and we have this urge to check our phone, then that means we're in this state. Because again, you don't expect anything to happen to you that isn't from your state. Number 2, you stop obsessing over them. And this one's also kind of obvious because when it comes to Neville Goddard, he would talk about the Sabbath, but the Sabbath is the day of rest, as if you've already received or created exactly what you want. So if you are no longer obsessing or thinking too much about your specific person in a negative way, then it means we've reached this Sabbath. And we also act upon this concept of the law of diminishing returns. So what it means is at some point, the amount of effort you get or put into your manifestation to change your state reaches a maximum value where any extra effort that you put in does not add or create any differences outside of you. Basically, you can keep putting in more effort and it just makes it harder. And that's the same concept of the law of reversed effort. So if you are no longer having this obsessive tendency in a negative way towards your specific person, then you've reached that Sabbath. You've reached that knowing. You've reached that understanding that everything is already yours. And basically, you've reached the state of already feeling as if you're with your specific person. And in the same way of Neville Goddard, then you're at the Sabbath and there's not really necessarily anything extra that you need to do. Just sustain the state and keep with the persistence or continuously strive to maintain it. Number 3, you notice signs that are matching your affirmations. So basically, you're seeing your reality repeat back to you the affirmations that you are stating to yourself. And this is obviously fantastic because as we begin to change and become the individual who already has their specific person, then that's what we're emitting on our reality. So as you do this, of course, your specific person is going to be contacting you, reaching out, and trying to communicate with you. And even more specifically, because we're talking about the idea of your specific person reaching out, if it's people reaffirming your affirmations that relate to communication, then that is fantastic. And the reason why this makes sense as to why your specific person is going to reach out to you immediately following this concept is because you're basically restructuring your mind. So there's a really cool metaphor that you can think about when you start to change and become someone different. So you can think of your mind as like a jungle, right? If you're walking through a jungle, it's usually really hard to walk through it. But the more you walk through certain paths, the easier it is to walk through it because you're like pushing the brush down. And over time, it becomes so easy, it becomes a sidewalk. That's you when you're getting adjusted to the state. And as soon as you transition into the state, then it's easy and it's effortless. That's why then the whole concept of the Sabbath makes sense with this idea of your specific person reaching out to you as well. Because the bridge of events has to achieve or create the outcome of assumption that you're having on your reality. So if you're assuming as if you're already with your specific person, if people are responding or repeating back your affirmations, it means you're there. Number 4, they randomly pop up in your mind without any trigger. So this means, again, we're acting in the state because of something called mirror neurons. So basically, you are realizing or kind of emotionally connected to your specific person. So when you're having this immediate response, the mirror neurons are basically up because of a pattern. And I won't go too into detail about this because this is all like the how or the bridge of events. And I'm just including it so it makes it make more sense. But basically, your specific person is in a process to create this thought process. And because you're so in tune with them, your mind's going to create the same process. Number 5, you get contacted by mutual friends. And this makes sense, obviously, because of the idea that your reality in the bridge of events is always working to bring you and your specific person together. So if you're getting contacted by mutual friends, it means that there is work being done. And it also acts on something called the social network theory, where in a social network, people are pretty predictable in the way that they act. So basically, again, utilizing or causing a bridge of events to collapse into a way in which people around you are now talking to you based on the concept that your specific person is thinking about you, wanting to contact you as well. And it also, what I like to use whenever I kind of have any worries or fears, because a lot of the times when we're going through the process, we have this thought that because we're not physically seeing it or we don't know how it's going to come to us, it gives us like anxiety and worry. But again, nothing, you never have to worry about how or when. Your reality is making it or creating it for you. But if you ever fall into that, with this concept, I always use this idea and it helps me believe a little bit more. So if you think about it, every single person knows about 300 people. Maybe not personally, maybe some more, maybe some less. But if each person on average knows 300 people, then if you go down the line, it makes sense why people would begin to talk to you and how the information and state you're embodying is getting back to your specific person. Because if 300 people talk to 300 people times 300 people, that's like over 90,000 people, right? So in that case, I didn't do the math again. I've done the math in the past, but before this video, I didn't. So do the math in the comments. Let me know if that's right. But basically stating that it makes a lot of sense that what you do gets back to your specific person in a way that is kind of above and beyond our logical mind, but still is happening instantaneously. Number 6, you receive random texts from other people. So this is a good sign that your specific person is about to reach out because it means you're getting into a state of being communicated with. Because most of the time we try to, in manifestation, we try to make our specific person like us, make them contact us, them reach out to us, but that's never going to do anything because you don't get what you want, you manifest what you are. So instead of trying to make your specific person contact you, you have to become someone that your specific person is obsessed with or wants to contact. I know that sounds strange, and it's actually not anything physical. It's actually totally an internal state, but we are always changing because ourselves is what is reflecting on our reality and nothing else. So if we are acting in a certain way, that's how you're going to see your reality reflect that back. And so if you are seeing other people reach out to you, then it means you are in a state of communication, even if they have nothing to do with your specific person at all. It means you're embodying that state. And lastly, number 7, you have this feeling to prepare for contact. And there's a couple things at work here, not only self-fulfilling prophecy, but mental rehearsal. So because you're having this feeling, because in your mind, in your visualizations, affirmations, things like that, like I know you're doing, you've assumed or imagined them reaching out. And so because you've mentally rehearsed that so much, when you have the desire in your reality, it means your mind is picking up on this concept. Again, it goes above and beyond our logical mind, but your mind is picking up on the essence that something is about to happen because you've seen it before within your mind, within your visualizations. And so you're basically creating this self-fulfilling prophecy. Because even, I know it sounds crazy, but watching this video also creates that sense of understanding or knowing or self-fulfilling prophecy that your specific person is going to reach out. I've had countless people from just watching a video kind of get into this state because it sounds crazy. Your logical mind does not want to understand this, but it's how it works. If you get into the state, wild, crazy coincidences are going to create and bring you to your specific person. Again, even if it makes no sense to you, your bridge of events or your higher self knows exactly what it's doing. And so that's why we have to have a trust in that. And I know sometimes it feels like we could try to predict the outcome. The more you're in this state, the more you're going to understand what can happen. But outside of that, it really is going to happen in a way that's absolutely crazy. That's why I always say, imagine for the end. So use all of this. If you're seeing these signs or not, continue imagining for the end, because that's how you're going to get into the state of it, and that's how you're going to see all of this occur. And again, though, like the list I made yesterday, it is longer. So there's other signs that your specific person is going to reach out, but I thought these are the most important. I thought I'd kind of keep it shorter than yesterday, which was like 30 things to know you manifested your specific person. So if you haven't checked that out already, definitely check it out. But comment below any of these signs that you've been seeing in your reality, and then get ready for your text message and basically tell me what you plan on responding to your specific person with. If you did have any questions or you want to make another video on like more signs that your specific person is about to reach out or about to call or about to ask you on a date, I definitely could do that. Just leave it down below. If you do want to reach me personally, you can reach out at kyleaugustcoaching.com. As always, thank you so much for stopping by today. For the next few days, I'll be out of town, so I don't know if I'll be able to actually make as many videos as I normally do, but definitely keep an eye out and definitely like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. I can't wait to see what signs you are seeing with your specific person manifestation, and I'll see you in my next video.